if his head can fully rotate, maybe there's a world where he's something under the head, like it's a costume. Springlock suit. Maybe Frank is a springlock suit. Wait, you cued me so early.
No, it went.
Wait, no,
yeah,
get out of here.
Yeah,
that was too short.
No.
I know the feel of that intro, though. I know when that intro goes,
Do you want me to do it again?
We got to do it. No, there's no way that was that early. It's never that early.
Okay, fine.
Did you cut it early? What happened there?
No.
Are you messing with me right now? I think you're messing with me. I'm getting gaslit by 7 seconds. Ash is gaslighting me with 5-second increments right now. Messing with my head.
I'm not, I promise.
Are you sure?
I'm so positive.
Roll it again. Hey guys, and welcome to GT Not Live, where today we're in a very new space. We have started from the bottom, and now we are here in my attic. That is a literal translation that has happened. We were down in my basement, and we've moved up a couple floors, and now we're in the top floor. How is it up here, Ash?
It's warm.
I like that you just, I'm like a waiter that always comes in at the wrong time. I don't know how waiters do this, but they have the uncanny ability to just walk in and ask you how your order is as soon as you've taken a bite. So I just literally pulled that with Ash unintentionally, who has been patiently waiting for your food that I got you. And
I think.
And you're like, yeah! And it's like, no, I tossed it to you immediately. How's the attic for you?
Warm.
The bonus room.
Oh, it's
warm?
So bonus.
Is it warm?
It's really warm. I'm sweating.
Are you really?
Yes.
Because I am freezing right now.
And you're weird for that.
Wow. Okay. That's fair. Now, I feel slightly attacked.
You accused me of gaslighting you. I'm on the defense right now.
Clearly. Oh my gosh. We got to cleanse this place with a good energy, Ash. As you can tell, this is obviously not the fully completed version of what this will be. There's still some kinks to work out, and we're in the process of still moving everything in. But this is kind of in transition mode as we speak. So welcome. It's gonna be green with a side of blue, because this is blue. This is green. This is blue, but they look very similar in color.
They do. We might actually be cooking up something a little special, because I know that recently. Is
it the orange couch? Are we swapping out this couch with the orange couch?
There is a likelihood. There is a likelihood,
really?
A probability that we might.
No! I finally have a use for the orange couch.
Yeah, man.
With the bird defecation on it.
It really does look like that, but I hope that no one will be able to tell. It's like a marker. That's where you sit.
Yeah, please sit on the marker, Matt. Yeah, where the bird decided to relieve itself. It's great. It's totally fine. I'm so glad that after 5 years of us having this awkwardly floating around our various spaces, it'll finally come into play.
Yeah.
It's earned its time.
Right.
It's there. It's ready. It'll be the third couch that we've gone through on GT Live, I think, at that point then. Oh, couch number 3. Very exciting. Background number 5?
5?
Well, let's see. There was the small room in my old house.
Right.
There was then the Manhattan Beach house, where we just had the kind of recording space on our middle floor. And then there was a transition mode where we went to the office, and we had the office space. And then we had transitioning out of the office, so that was 4. Then we had downstairs, which was the 6. Season 6 of GT Live!
Oh my gosh, I've made it to a new season.
We made it to a new season. Season 6. Congrats. You made the cut.
Whoa.
We didn't kill you off between seasons.
I had had them for a second there.
Yeah.
I had a long time where I was not here.
No, it's true. Yeah, you had like a mid-season hiatus.
Yeah.
Like you were one of those characters that went off and had a baby, and then like you were brought back later or whatever. Like, oh, we didn't notice you were gone, or what? You know what? We certainly noticed that you were gone, but in the world of fiction, where people are like, oh, you know,
and my activities will be revealed in the eventual spin-off show.
Ooh, yeah, you're getting your own spin. Did you go to a farm and like raise beets?
Beets?
Yeah, like Dwight.
Oh.
Dwight Schrute from The Office. That was originally supposed to be his spin-off show.
Really?
Yeah, there was originally supposed to be a Dwight Schrute spin-off show after The Office called The Farm or something like that. And it was supposed to be Dwight and his family and their adventures raising beets.
Oh,
and
wow.
they tried a soft pilot of it in the final season of The Office. And it was so resoundingly rejected from the audience. And then like everyone's like, what the heck is this? That it never went anywhere. I think that's how the story goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Yeah, although yours, I think, has a better ending.
Oh.
Better spin-off.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I think I would enjoy watching Ash raise beets on a farm. I feel like that would be actually quite enjoyable.
I'd be so stressed out.
You would.
I would be
You would also
so
be much
concerned.
hotter than you are currently in this well air-conditioned attic.
It's just me like being dehydrated and stressed about plants.
It would be a very.
It's a good
it'd be
show.
a vibe.
Yeah.
It'd be a mood.
Right.
I just see a lot of memes coming out of that and a lot of just incredible animated GIFs. Like
Oh my
you
gosh.
running around, my plants!
My beets!
My beets! My beets! Just going around shouting out my beets. So today, as we're kind of in transition mode, what we have going on is we are returning back to the world of Welcome Home. So in July, Welcome Home got an update that has completely revamped the website. For those of you who haven't been paying attention, Welcome Home is a website ARG art experience. It's a lot of different things, but it's so cool because it's filled with all these different hidden Easter eggs and codes and lore that you can just click around and find. Like, it really does feel like a game, right? But it's set in this incredible world. Basically, the theme is that there was this old TV show back in the day that starred a bunch of puppets, felt very like Mr. Rogers meets Bob Ross, meets Sesame Street. And what happened, it went off the air mysteriously. And so this website is kind of like a restoration project to bring these things back together. We've done theories about it in the past where we've said like, hey, it seems like this is a cult. It seems like there's all sorts of...
Bless you, Matt.
Thank you. Bless us all.
Bless us all.
Bless us all. Bless. Bless.
Bless.
Bless. So that Wally, the main character of the show, is a cult leader, and that he's, you know, the neighborhood itself is kind of this corrupt entity, and that all of them may or may not be controlled by or worshiping the house in the center of it called home, and that seems to be the thing in control. And this story is being told to us through secret imagery, Easter eggs, codes, and things on the website. Very fun. We did a GT Live back when we first became aware of this, where we were just kind of like casually exploring the whole thing. And we did a theory recently discussing some of the things that are in this new update, which we're going to talk about. But there's more here that I wanted to dig into today and do some live theorizing about, because I haven't gotten a chance to really dig into a lot of this. It's also one of those things where I know that there's a couple more Easter eggs that I was told to look into. There's a couple things I wanted to just like look at and experience live with you, because I haven't gotten a chance to dig around because we've been super busy. And yeah, so that is the plan today, my friends, is we're gonna do some more live theory crafting about Welcome Home, the experience. I'm gonna catch you up on some of the things that we haven't covered on GT Live, as well as do some kind of like live reaction stuff for a theory that I think, you know, we're gonna put together if there's enough to it. As we kind of explore. So, without any further ado, let's hop into Welcome Home after I talk to you about wonderful Air Up, our wonderful sponsor for today's episode. Air Up. There, that seamless transition right there, wasn't it? It's the end of summer, and so Air Up has launched a new thing. Smooth.
A new thing.
Smooth, Matt. So it's the end of summer, and with the end of summer, there is a new flavor of Air Up, and that is iced tea peach. So for those of you who don't know, I am a huge fan of Air Up. We've been promoting it all this year. It is the single reason why I drink as much water as I do at this point. The only reason I stay hydrated with anything other than Diet Coke. And this new, and historically, right, you guys all know that wild berry has been my like game-changing flavor of choice. It's still all together like top tier flavors, but new iced tea peach, don't be sleeping on it, my friends. I was not an iced tea fan growing up, but it's one of those things that like, as I've grown up and as I've experienced more tea in my life, love it. This is actually a fantastic new flavor. This is my new go-to for the summer because it feels summery, but it doesn't have, like if I drink too much tea, it actually upsets my stomach because the tannins in the tea will actually kind of like eat away at your stomach lining. It's great. It's super fun. But iced tea peach doesn't do that because guess what? There's no flavor. I'm literally just drinking water. By popping up the nozzle, boop, it activates the flavor. And by flavor, I mean just the scent. And it fools my brain into thinking, hey, this tastes like a peachy iced tea. It's delicious. I've been drinking gallons of it and feeling all summery the entire time. It's a very refreshing flavor. So if you have been wondering about new flavors of Air Up, or if you're looking to like increase the overall water intake in your life, I swear, game changing. They just sent me another, like they have a new version of their like giant tankards. There's a new silver version, which is really nice. It stays cool for a really long time and it contains more. So I'm able to just consume more. And I'm so well hydrated at this point. It's my water game, second to none. Twitch hydration bot ain't got nothing on me at this point. The only thing that's missing, and I will call this out, Air Up, because I know you have to watch this because you are the sponsor who's going to approve this little segment here. So make sure that I'm not saying anything wrong. But Air Up, listen to me right now. I was in London, and I know that in the UK, you have a cola flavor. And I don't know why it's not here in the US. Probably too good for us here in the US. But bring the cola flavor over here, please. I have not tried it because I didn't have a chance to try it when I was over there. I should have. Tom probably had one. Tom loves his Air Up.
He does.
Did you were in London. Did you try the cola flavor?
I didn't because I learned about it after I got back.
They're keeping it from us.
They are.
Ash.
This is gatekeeping.
This is literally a conspiracy to keep us away from the cola flavor.
Which feels like it would do so well in the US.
It would crush, because that's what we drink here in the
Exactly.
US. We drink cola.
Yeah.
They don't drink cola in the UK. I mean, they do, but like they drink tea. This peach tea. No, they're drinking hot tea. No. So Air Up, listen to me. This is Matt. This is your friend Matt Pat. You know, your trusted sponsor for this year here at the Air Up Company. Bring cola over. I have a feeling it'll crush, and at the very least, like, if already I'm drinking like 3 of these a day, I guarantee I'll be drinking like 5 to 6 of these a day if it's cola flavored. Amazing. And great. And guess what? If you get sick of the flavor, or if you don't want tea or whatever, it's like, boop, pop down, done. It just becomes water. It's actually just, like, to me, it's a blast to try the different flavors because I think all of them are different and fun, and I like some more than others, but like anytime there's a new flavor, I get a little excited.
Yeah, it's like that little adrenaline kick where it's like, oh my gosh.
It's like, ooh. And again, just water. But it's like, ooh, it's berry. Oh, it's tea. Oh, maybe it's cola. There was another one, raspberry lemonade, top tier.
Oh man,
Solid.
I want the iced coffee one.
I do not.
Yeah, you don't.
Because I'm not much of a coffee person.
And
but
I'm not much of a cola person, but.
I'd love to try it though.
Yeah.
I'd love to try it. Is that also not one here in the US? Mm-hmm. What are you doing, Air Up? Please bring it on over here for Ash. Love Matt, Pat, and Ash. All right? So, but hey, you know what? We love you too. Thanks for sponsoring us. Thanks for making me more well hydrated in my life. If you want to check out Air Up, because I keep talking about it, and you want to increase your hydration and your just betterment of liquids in your body, go to the website that's probably down in the description, right?
Oh, it's down there.
And I'm sure we have a code.
Oh, we sure do.
And I'm sure that code is probably going to help them save like 10% off their entire order.
Exactly 10%. Site-wide, baby!
Site-wide, baby! Save that 10%. I don't know what the code is, though.
You want to take a guess?
I bet it's GT Live.
It's GT Live!
Oh! Yeah!
yeah.
Oh, I am so good at this. It's like I've done this before. Bam! Way to use that critical thought right there. This is the mind that is solving Welcome Home and the mind that is failing at solving FNAF right now. Got him. So anyway, there's a link down in the description below. Use the code GTLIVE in order to save 10% across the whole site. I totally knew that.
Booyah.
And get hydrated with me. Cheers. Smarter, faster, every day. I was trying to come up with a catchphrase off the top of my head. It did not work. Liquefy your brain. No, it's not. Oh no, it's coming out of my ear. So anyway, without any further ado, now, sponsorships aside, new announcements about the space and transition aside, let's hop into Welcome Home, shall we?
But before we do that,
Well, there's another but before?
we should close out of your email tab and all of your Google Drive tabs with your personal information.
You don't want all my personal information on everyone's display right now? Get out of here.
You know, I'm sure some people do, but like, I see that email every single freaking day. I'm done. I'm done.
Okay, it's all X'd out. How do you feel? Is that better?
I feel great.
Is my identity safe now?
Yeah, it feels much more secure.
Excellent. So, this is the Welcome Home site. At first, you can immediately tell, like, without question, if you watched our first series of coverage on this, immediately something comes to mind, which is these eyeballs. They were not here before. It used to be that there were more eyeballs hidden in kind of like the side banners, where a lot of the design had this kind of repeated motif of eyeballs, and you can still see them. Right? Like you can see like there's an eye, some eyes there, there's some eyes there. It seems much more subtle, at least than I remember it last time in the like initial versions of it. But the eyes here. And what our theories have covered is that there are two main symbols that you see kind of repeated throughout the website at this point. You have the eyes, which represent Wally, because Wally is watching us. And then you have the spirals. And this, I'll see if I can point one out when we find one as we search around. But the spirals represent home, this guy. And even, it's funny, even as I talk through this in real time, one of the fun things about live theory crafting is that it just, like ideas kind of pop up and we're able to talk through them, even though they might not be right. Even here, like, yeah, this is our front man, and this is the guy who's kind of like maybe the cult leader, maybe possessed by home, maybe under his control or the puppet or whatever. But it's funny that you have home, the living entity that all these cultists, all these followers are worshiping or whatever, supervising from the background and like very carefully watching Wally. Like you even see his eyes turn to him, which is something I haven't noticed up until this point. But as I kind of go back through and reestablish all this, it's interesting to see that. Also the eye right there, very solid. One thing that might not be immediately obvious is that this was not here when I first loaded up the page. And we talk about this in the previous theory, but I think it's worth showing off here, which is throughout the website, if you wait long enough, these little drawings come up, right? And if you click them, you're like, oh, I got a black screen. But wait, there it is. You got to be patient. You got the record with the eyeball, so that's the Wally eye.
There you are. Welcome home. Ha ha ha.
It's like a YouTuber laugh. Ha ha ha. You can tell like the YouTuber. Ha 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 ha. What a funny joke. My co-host. Ha ha. Each one comes with a different letter. And so in our previous theory, we kind of pieced together that you can spell out stuff with those letters. But I did want to call that out. So basically things that you want to keep an eye out for as you're looking through the website right now are the hand drawings, eyeballs, obviously like misspellings or links hidden in the text, and then, you know, just in general other secret imagery. But the reason why the drawings are important is because Wally is established to be the artist of this world, and so there's drawings and Wally, they're connected. So that's what we're kind of going through here. The other thing I wanted to show off that we didn't get a chance to because we're covering this kind of after we did our initial theory on it is the fact that we have here in the exhibition, there was an entrance to a secret code here. Basically this is talking about like the exhibition that they threw together. So in site version 1 of the website, they were talking about, hey, we're gonna put together a celebration of this show. We're gonna put some of the memorabilia on display and hopefully fans of the series kind of come together to check it out, right? And what ended up happening is this is now in the update, like, hey, guess what? We put this show together and it was very exciting. But what we found when we were searching here the other day, and this is kind of talking about it, but here, if you click answer, just randomly leads to here. which gives you the whole password code, the whole password sequence, which is cool. So it's like, oh no, there's a password. We got to test it and trying a bunch of different things. And so you retried all of them with different capital letters, underscores, periods, lowercase. Like, I think this is, and in general, if you're the type of person who is creating your own games or creating your own ARGs, in this case, I think this is a brilliant example of how to communicate to the audience what they have to do in a way that feels organic, but not super obvious, right? So like, whoever this person is working on this code and working to decipher it, it looks like they're crazy, notations and whatever, and they're taking notes and trying to figure it out. But they're telling you, like, hey, you person playing at home, there's not gonna be capital letters, there's not gonna be underscores. We tried this, it's none of this, it's not leet speak nothing, you just have to put in the words, right? I think that's really, really cool. And code is 5 characters. Because a lot of times with ARGs, what you find, and we've covered this a little bit on this channel where we've done live theory crafting about other ARGs, there is this idea of it's so open-ended and so wide that you don't know, like almost anything can be a possibility. And so you're left just like having to brute force your way through a lot of stuff. And what this has immediately done is given us kind of the general guidelines of, hey, you're looking for 5 characters. It's not going to be any of this weird stuff. And then they go one step further and say, the worksheet is 5 questions. Could this be the key? Are the questions the key? Et cetera. And then you see telephone down here, which is all this stuff too. So like they're giving you some pretty explicit clues about how to go through it. So you click in, that gives you this guy, which is your little safe that we're trying to open. And again, we talked about this a fair bit. And then the guest area. And so we were able to open that in the previous theory. If you haven't seen that one, it's worth checking out. But I wanted to show, I think that's really, really smart, the way that they put this together. Because I think Clown did a really awesome job with it. Here's another hand drawing. Understand. I understand. Here we go.
Do you like home? Home is my house. Do you have a home too? Do you hear it too?
Nope.
You can hear mine.
We creak a little bit. Sometimes my home creaks.
Downstairs when we were in the yellow room.
Yeah.
You definitely heard that home.
You did.
Yeah.
Mostly when someone was upstairs.
Right.
That home was very loud.
Very, very audible.
When Ollie would be like running around in like the upper floor, playing his little like game room or whatever. Do 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 do. I feel like I'm hearing my home in a very different way than Wally here is hearing his home.
Yeah, for sure.
Slightly different.
Yeah.
Just a little bit different. But yeah, so there's another one of those. One thing I did want to call out. Was there something here? Was this the... No, this isn't the one. It was the merchandise page, which had the phone. This was the other one that we talked about in the previous theory. And then I think we're all cut up, and then we can kind of like search around on the site and see what else we have. But one thing that I want to call out here, which was another really cool one, is like, hey, here you have, they're talking about all the different merchandise here. They're looking at, hey, we found all these old toys, all these old workbooks, which again are things that are giving you clues and hints and indications of like where we have to go to in this website. But here, this is another one where a second ago, this wasn't active, and now it is because you clicked around and you waited for long enough, which again, I think is really smart.
Whether letter or parcel, whether rain, snow, or shine, we weather the weather and never decline. This is Eddie Deer of Eddie's Post Office speaking. How can I help you today? Hello? Is anybody there?
No, sorry.
Should I say the jingle again? Whether letter or parcel, whether
Take it
rain,
again.
snow, or shine, we weather the weather and never decline. This is Eddie Deer of Eddie's Post Office speaking. Do you need stamps? I got them. Envelopes and paper? You bet.
You
Markers,
bet.
Crayons,
Thank
glue,
you.
glitter, tape, staples? I got that too.
That's legit.
That's sick.
I think nobody's there. Wait, I can't remember if the phone was ringing. Maybe I was gonna make a phone call. But Who would I call?
That's concerning.
Well, if you're there, have a good day.
Thank you. So it's interesting, right? This whole time we've been talking about, and our theories around this have been about him, or like this all being a cult, worshiping home, this like evil, almost like Cthulhu-esque entity, right? This kind of like greater creature. It is interesting to hear him kind of talking about forgetting things and not knowing who he was calling. Is this a real phone or not? He's losing touch with reality. And I think immediately that starts to kind of throw into question or make you suspicious of like, are these willing cultists? How were they brought into the fold? How are they related to this whole thing? And what levels are they operating at? One thing that we discovered in our previous theory was the fact that it seems like the artwork has special paint on it. Some of the artwork has been tampered, so it has special paint that allows Wally, the main figure, to talk to you, speak to you, brainwash you, or basically get access into your head. And so there's a possibility here that the characters in the show, because again, remember, this is an old TV show from back in the day, that the old characters in the show were brainwashed in some way or kind of like corrupted by whatever this home entity is, which I think is really interesting. Let's do one more.
Hello? 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 Hello?
Great.
Is this a prank call, kid? Listen, I got a better joke for you. What did the bee say to the flower?
Buzz off.
I wouldn't know. I wasn't there. What do I look like, a beesdropper? Not even a chuckle? Boy, tough crowd.
Oh no, Ash is dying over here.
That was fantastic.
Ash thought that was hilarious.
That was really good.
How about you call me back when you've got something funny to say too, little buddy? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
There you go. Nice. But secret button. So there's 8 people who live in the neighborhood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But then secretly, here's the 8th button. And you have duet. Now this was one that I think was more hidden in the initial version of the site that they've kind of brought more to the forefront through that. I don't know what this does.
Hello? 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 Ha ha ha? I'm only kidding. I know you're there. Did you like my joke?
Loved it. It was great. Top tier.
I think you were going to say yes. Ha ha ha.
Wally's laugh
You know,
is it's like the lowest
it
energy
is
Joker
hard
ever.
to hear you think through this funny phone of mine. It is as though you aren't speaking at all. Maybe it is just a little fuzzy, like me. Speaking
You
of,
could shave if you're feeling a little fuzzy.
do you know who I am?
The heartbeat and ambient stops. That didn't happen. Heartbeat and ambience
Oh,
resume.
no. Well, that's not neighborly at all.
Huh.
We've never met before. But don't worry, even though
Wally's tired.
you and I haven't spoken before, I've seen you every time you have looked into my eyes. I want to know, what did you see?
Can you imagine This guy, like, hosting, like, a Sesame Street?
Sure.
Can you?
Yeah.
Do you think you'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this guy? I feel comfortable with my children watching the guy who, like, slowly speaks in a monotone.
I've seen enough analog horror at this point.
That you're
to make
like,
it happen.
just because it can happen doesn't mean you have to be okay subjecting your small children to, like, oh, I'm totally gonna watch this family-friendly program.
You asked me if I could imagine it.
Fine. Fine. Ha ha ha. Show me what you see.
I hope you saw a friend, but I'm not sure you saw a name.
Tend not to usually see names,
Stand
honestly.
still. Let's start over.
Stand still.
Ring, ring, ring,
See,
click.
they said the button was broken. It's clearly not. Wally has plenty to say.
Hi, I'm Wally. I'm so happy to finally meet you. I think you're the absolute most.
Wally's really chilling right now.
Uh-oh, I have to go now. Everyone is probably thinking about that strange phone call. It is funny to think about. Ha ha ha.
It's
Don't
hilarious.
worry though, neighbor.
It's a real knee slapper.
It will be a little joke between you and me. You have to go too. You have work to do.
I do have to film this episode.
Remember, until you hear me again, keep your smile merry and always know that I love you very much. Goodbye.
Great. And it's duet, right? Which is a weird thing to kind of like title this tab, because it's just like Wally's little monologue over here, Wally's creepy little monologue. But you heard the door creak, right? And so again, throughout the series, you have these repeated moments of house sounds, home sounds, doors creaking, floors creaking, or like having thuds or knocking on doors, things like that, which seems to be the house, home, talking to Wally or communicating with the characters in this series and telling something to them. So him being like summoned away is really interesting. One thing that I wanted to talk about and look at here is this, right? So we've been talking about how Wally communicates to us through drawings and how he's watching us and the eyes symbolize him. The one I wanted to call out here is, so I noticed these bugs, right, on the website, and we didn't talk about this in our theory. We haven't talked about this one yet, but as I've been playing around on the site, I've noticed these, and they also have hidden links.
So they just won't leave my tomatoes alone, and who am I to shoo them away? Isn't a beetle just as permitted to partake of my plants as I am, Julie?
Positively, absolutely, Frank.
But I've taken such good care of them. I read to them every day. I water them the perfect amount.
Oh, you do. You pour a whole book on them and read them with water on their little heads and everything.
Julie, I'm serious.
Oh, I'm sorry, Frank. I'm only teasing. You know, if this is bothering you so much, you should have a little sign just for those bugs. It can say, "Terrific tomatoes. Look, but don't touch."
What makes you think they're going to be able to read all that?
Well, they've got big, beautiful eyes, don't they? Like big old saucer plates.
Oh, Julie, don't be so rude. You wouldn't like it if they said that about you.
Said what about me? How lovely my hair is. That I put just the right amount of polish on my horns.
Does one
No,
polish
more
one's horn?
like that Julie Joyful with her nose like an orange.
Right? I don't. Do horns need polishing
If they
maintenance?
said that, they'd also probably say, "Oh, that Frank Frankly with that banana on his face."
Banana? Well, if they're going to be so rude in my garden, maybe it's best that they don't get to partake of any more tomatoes then.
That's right.
Thoughtful hum.
Well, how are we going to keep them out? Maybe Howdy's got something in his shop.
Oh, Howdy is more inclined to sell us canned laughter than he is to sell us something actually useful.
Whoa, low-key.
Besides,
Low-key shade right there. He's putting that on. That is a 3-star Yelp review right there. Yeah.
No, don't you fret. I'm sure we can come up with a wonderful joke between the three of us. Isn't that right, Mom?
Awesome. So cool. Little jump scare there at the end. Okay, so it cut out when we talked to Wally. Also a weird digitized cutout too. Can I access it again? I cannot access it again. Ooh, but I pull it. I think that's just the opening frame. So that one was in a garden, and we know based on the map, where's the neighborhood? Here's the map. So that was Frank, and we know Frank is the one with the garden. The smartest neighbor in Welcome Home, Frank Frankly, is the resident bookworm with an expertise on butterflies. Despite being the grumpiest and grayest of his colorful cavalcade, it's good to have someone so organized and matter-of-fact amidst the bunch. After all, he enjoys being Frank, even if it means being Frank. Haha. He's Julie's best friend.
Frankly, I don't think there's anything wrong with being frank.
Good one, Frank. Nice. This is interesting. I think this is actually... Frank does not have any known information regarding his origins prior to moving into home when compared to the others. So immediately that sets him apart in a really interesting way. Because everyone else, they have like a, they moved in. Like, here, let me go back and show off, like, who do we got? Sally. According to Uncode, she was the brightest star in the sky, even more than those around her. However, upon looking down at the nearby celestial bodies from her spot, she knew that there were still places she had yet to shine. She fell, and she seemingly accomplished her stardom. She has seemingly accomplished her aspired stardom, as there are only 9 visible neighbors in home. 9? All of whom know. I thought there were 8. That's weird.
Celestial. Astronomical. Stupendously fantastical. Oh, so few words can capture the radiance of Sally Starlet.
Are we saying 9 because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? I guess 9. So the reason I say 8, right, is you have the 7 kind of main ones, and then you have 8 is Wally. So I guess 9 is maybe home itself. Is that what we're thinking of here? Is that like maybe that's why they're considering home the last one? That's a weird call out because all the media that I know about so far in the series has been 8. You got Barnaby, you got Howdy, you got Frank, you got Sally. Julie is who Frank was talking to in the last one, I believe. Eddie the mailman. Bless you, Ash.
Thank you. Bless us all.
Bless. Right? So it's weird, and then this should be Wally's. Yep. Unless there's you, because at one point we did discover that you is an option. It's almost where the heart, you here. So maybe this is one of the secret things that we unlocked last time. Have they updated it with the update? They have. Wally is your best friend, I think, or something like that. So maybe us, we're the 9th person? I believe this is new, though. This was all blank before. And so now that we have this... Huh. Hello.
Can you see me? That's okay if you can't. Don't worry. I know you're there.
Wally's taking some powerful stuff.
You know I'm here, too. I will talk to you.
Great, thanks. Thanks, bud.
Was the transcript version of that the text that flashed on the screen before we got this?
Wait, I didn't see text that flashed across the screen.
Oh, I did.
Wait, you saw text?
Yeah.
Was there a flash frame?
I can't tell if it was that or like the transcript below glitched onto it. But I saw, it looked like that first question was like, can you see or can you hear me? So.
Here, let me see. Let's see if it'll draw here in a second. Wait for it. Wait, okay. Oh, there it is. Yep, good one. Yeah, it was just really well hidden. I will talk to you. I appreciate that they have that. That's cool. So Frank is weird. There's 9 characters. That's also weird. And it looks like, in general, we have to find the bugs. That feels like that is one of the new things, is finding bugs on the website. Like, here's a bug. But he is not a clickable bug, apparently. But across all of them, you see other ones. So like the guest book. So last time the guest book held a lot of stuff, but now they're kind of shutting it down. But now you have a rhino beetle up here, and you have a drawing here. So here, let's do Wally's drawing first. Help! Is it help? Oh, help me? Hello? Close, close. All right, so this one's fine. I love it. It's like it's a one giant Easter egg hunt. It's fantastic.
I can't hear you.
Wally just keeps going.
You know who I am?
And you are Wally.
We've looked into each other's eyes so many times.
Took a long walk across the
You're
beach. It's
looking
beautiful.
at me now.
Great. Well, keep up the good work there, Wally.
Oh, pardon me, ma'am.
Well, if it isn't our reliable mailman. Either that or my delivery decided to sprout legs and go for a walk.
What are we looking at?
Nope, it's me. Sorry, I think I might have overestimated how much to bring at a time, howdy. No.
What is this?
No kidding. Say, Ed, how about you give my goods a break from your fumbling before they turn into bads?
Wow, that's top tier. I appreciate that.
Sorry about that. Howdy, I guess I'm just in a rush today. I'm a little behind with my delivery run.
You don't say.
I do say. I feel like I'm getting tossed around by my own parcels. What kind of life is that for a mailman?
No life at all, Ed.
But before
Great.
you know it, I'll be back on schedule and back at the post office. I just got a new set of stamps I've been trying to organize.
Get hype.
Between color and shape.
Oh,
Sign here, please.
you gotta do color. Sorting by shape is gonna leave you with lackluster results.
Sounds like a busy day ahead of
Especially
you,
with
Ed.
stamps, most of them are gonna be squares.
Speaking of busy, you remind me about a special order I need delivered.
Oh, no. Don't tell me. It's the bowling balls.
It's the bowling balls Julie order.
Oh, the bowling ball! Those are gonna kill you in shipping costs. The wait for that package, just brutal.
I'll get them to her faster than it.
Faster than a bee carrying wax to a honeycomb. Sounds good. Make sure it gets to Jules all in one piece.
Right. Can bowling balls break? Have a good day, you two.
Bowling balls can break. I've seen it happen.
You have a good one too, Ed.
Oh, pardon me.
Boy, that fella can talk your ear off. Let's hope he doesn't run into anybody with that order, eh?
It's interesting that it's glitchy at the end. So one thing that you immediately see, right, is that anytime someone acknowledges Wally, or like they know that Wally is there. So I'm assuming that this is his camera perspective, or maybe like he's hanging out in the area. But as soon as they acknowledge that Wally's there, it shuts down. So is this Wally possessed by home? Is this him serving as like a camera to the outside world? Is this like him in stasis mode and the entity of home is kind of, you know, observing through his eyes or whatever? And then as soon as someone like tells him to go online again, he's like, oh, and it's me, I'm Wally again.
Ooh.
Right?
Huh.
Kind of like, Kind of like, hey, I'm home. I'm sitting here and I'm listening to the neighbor, like I'm eavesdropping, or I'm like a nanny cam kind of thing, and I'm using like my vessel to do that. And then all of a sudden, when it's like he needs to activate, like, what do you say, Walls? And it's like, oh, hey, I'm back. I'm here. Maybe. That's the vibe I'm getting out of this.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Did you have thoughts?
No.
Here, if you have any thoughts, I'm gonna look around for another bug.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming there's similar to the last time where there was one on every page. I feel like there's probably something similar here. So on media, there's a lot of places it could be. They're pretty obvious. Or they were. The exhibition page, I thought had one. There it is. I knew I saw something. So, oh, his butt's hanging out. Oh, that's cute.
Little bug butt.
Little bug butt hanging. Oh, hello. Excuse you.
Please, does Poppy see Punch, who asked me to make this cake for you? Really, well, it's such an honor.
Oh, I'm sure it is, darling. Now, let's get down to brass tacks.
Oh, well, I don't think I have any of those. I don't like to keep anything too sharp around here, you know.
Details, Poppy dear. Details.
Ah, of course.
Ooh.
Now then.
Who has a yellow? Who's got a yellow hand? I mean, Wally. So again, that and with everyone saying like, "Hey, Wally," that reinforces that he's there present for these interactions. Yeah, she's pink. Is there anyone with yellow? Sally. I was gonna say Sally the Star. Could be. Chicken is literally. We haven't done much with Poppy in general, like the chicken. We don't know too much about. I guess Eddie has yellow hands. He's got bigger hands, though, it feels like. Howdy is not. He's the green guy with he's Dr. Octopus, Barnaby, and then Frank is gray. So again, it seems like this is the perspective of Wally.
What would I like? Poppy dear, this is going to be on stage. It's hardly a like. It's a need. And it needs to be big.
Performers, am I right? Theater people. So, divas.
So obnoxious.
3 tiers then?
Only 3? Oh, dream bigger, Poppy.
Yes. Suppose it is a big neighborhood. Better to play it safe.
What is this?
You know,
Is that a ham?
Play it safe.
But not too
Roast
safe.
steak.
After all, this needs to be a showstopper. It needs to have beauty.
Oh, could be colorful
Pizzazz.
bread.
Danger.
Apple.
Danger. Oh,
Duck centerpiece.
I don't know how.
And
I
it's got a
feel
duck
about
inside of it, which is
dangerous.
Double
Kate.
duck.
double duck.
Sit up, my feathered friend. You'll do great. I'm certain of it. There's no one else in the neighborhood I would trust with this. And not just because you're the only one here who can make something that doesn't come out of a gelatin mold.
Wow.
Well,
Low-key shade right there.
Dang.
I didn't know that there was such like judgment to be had about gelatin molds.
I put Wally on blast, I guess.
when I asked what you'd like, I thought maybe you would have a flavor in mind.
A what?
Anything but gelatin.
No,
I feel like gelatin molds are actually harder to make, probably.
or sprinkles.
Because you got to get the right level of gelatin in there.
Scotch.
Oh, to be honest with you, I didn't think that far.
You didn't think about the flavor.
Well, the audience can't taste it from their seats, now can
We're just talking about stuff for the show.
they? What do you think?
Oh, he's back online again.
Yep. Whoop.
Yeah, he's like in screensaver mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like in screensaver. He's like, oh. It's also like me when I was a kid at like an adult dinner party.
Oh, yeah.
And like the adults are talking about adult things and you're just like,
Spacing out a little bit.
oh man, here we go. Oh, I gotta do something. What do you say, Matthew? Oh, hey, yeah. Totally.
School's going fine.
Yeah, doing great. Awesome. Just crushing it every day. It's interesting that all of them are labeled answer. And 214, 214, 1314, HE, SP, HE, 614, maybe 6 of 14. So maybe this is telling you of 14, 13 of 14, 6 of 14. JF, is it SP, HE, JF? So I'm wondering if you put them in order, go 1 to 14, you get all the letters, and then maybe it's a substitution code. The other thing that I know Tom told me to look at, specifically that he wanted my thoughts on, was, because Tom's been doing a lot of research on this for the upcoming game theory, is, what was it? It's WO, it's whatever this one, WOXYVE. So again, to remind you, in the first iteration of the website, you went from page to page to page to page, and on each page there was one letter that was like out of place. It was higher than the others, it was out of sync, it was a different color maybe, or it was hidden text. And if you put them all together, you would get secret web pages. And they didn't give you any sort of order to put those letters in, so you just tried a ton of, what would that be, 6 factorial combinations, and we did it for a long time.
That sucked.
That was the worst.
So hard.
Yeah, that we did a lot of different combinations, and we found, I think, the bulk of everything that we were supposed to find, but it took so long, which again, I appreciate why they're doing that password, like, let me clarify what the password is. But Tom told me to check out this one in particular for some reason. Oh, because there's a new bug. That's what it is. So this one we found last time, which is old scripts from the show, right? A butterfly enters from the right side of the frame, moves across the screen, the camera follows it, next shot. Hello neighbor, how are you today? Hope you're feeling happy. So we found this one last time. This is new though, the fact that there's a bug here and he's clickable. So it seems like even on the secret page, with this new update, it seems like even on the secret pages, there are more secrets to be had. And so I'm curious what this one is. And unlike everything else that has been this is 14 of 14. There it is. 14 of, so that's what that is. X of 14. So this is the last of them. BH. Yeah, there's got to be something with these letters at the end that's saying, like, you're going to piece it together. So there's 14 bugs then.
So I tells him, I'm just pulling your leg. Boy, you should have seen him home. I had the poor guy's head turning like a merry-go-round. Yeah, he's a real sourpuss. No wonder Julie can't tell a good joke.
Sounds of banging can be heard, sort of like laughter. I mean, 1, that didn't happen. Like, we didn't hear it. But 2, the fact that the transcript is telling us what home is saying or saying, that's really interesting. And here you have Bard, because again, like, you don't know how far the like dramatic conceit of this whole thing goes. So maybe home is the 9th member of the neighborhood.
Oh, during that first, the duet,
Yeah.
right? When they were talking about the resonance and that heartbeat, but we couldn't hear it.
That's home.
That's home, right?
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm. No, totally. So I don't know if home is officially considered to be the 9th. That's good to know. But it is interesting that normal care, because up to this point it feels like Wally has been the only one talking to home, right? We saw like images like this in the initial version of the website, right? Like he is the, oh wait, we can click on the spiral now. So the spiral we've talked about represents home itself. Could you do this before? Ooh, it do be shaking.
He's on the move.
He do be shaking. Ooh. If the home is a knockin', or if the home is a rockin', don't come a knockin'. There is no doubt. Oh, hey, there we go. Only the sounds of home creaking, groaning, banging, or squeaking. I was wondering that. If it was Morse code. Ha! I don't know if Tom found this. Ah! Oh, crazy. Are the squeaks dashes? Huh.
Weird.
It would be a very short Morse code.
Would.
It'd be like
I.
dot, 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 dash. I'm assuming the squeaks are dashes. Dot, 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 dash. Dot, 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 dash is V, if I'm reading it right, but I could very well not be. It could be literally anything else. Dot, dash, dash. Dot, dash, dot, wait. Was that a squeak? That's tricky. Because that first one has a squeak, so if you're saying dashes are squeaks. Dash, 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 dot. Whew. It's a lot of dashes in a row.
Right now we've got like a V, a W, and O.
I was going to say, it seems like an O. Shooting to that, I've also listened. It's also interesting that this guy keeps jittering in terms of like he keeps freezing on something. I don't know if that means something. Password neighbor. Huh. So creaking, groaning, banging, or squeaking. It does seem like there's a sound to indicate when they're transitioning to the next word. So that's one squeak. Like that one feels like its own standalone thing. What is one long? One long is T. That would be VT. Not great. Not great there, Bob. Okay. It's not gonna be super exciting for us to like stand here and like listen to this over and over, so we'll come back to this, but this is interesting. This is gonna show up in a theory at some point because we gotta figure out what that one is.
Maybe we could pull that like a WAV file from it and then put it into something and see if like different online translators can pick something up from that.
If we could do it, yeah. Because the squeaking, it's really interesting. And then this, so I was just saying, hey, we up till this point, it's funny, I didn't even expect that. Up to this point, it was neighbor, here we go. Up to this point, we've only seen Wally. Interesting, the spiral goes down too. Up to this point, we've only seen Wally talking to Home. So I think it's really telling that we also have Barnaby, one of the other characters, talking to Home too. So it's unclear whether Home is just a character in this world and everyone's talking to it, or is Barnaby part of the like actual worshipping of what's going on here.
She's got a sense of humor only Frank could love. Did I tell you that joke she gave me? Something about 3.1? I ought to be a good Samaritan and teach her a thing or two about puns. What?
Ding.
You didn't like that one? I came up with that on the fly. That ought to be worth something. Speaking of flies,
Squeaking more.
I know he's going on and on about his family today. The poor guy's got more family members than the caterpillar's got legs. And if I'm counting howdies, that's at least 4.
Inquisitive door
unless he's
squeak.
walking around on all 4s like moi, then I don't count arms. That reminds me, he's been getting better at running. Especially for a guy that's only got 2 legs. Still scares easier than my mama, though. And she's a real chicken.
Opens and closes the door judgmentally. So Home's not happy with that.
Hey, I chased him down for a good reason. Because
So Home doesn't like either the joke or it doesn't like the fact that Barnaby is chasing one of the other neighbors.
Home says be kind to your mother.
No, I mean, it seemed open and closes door judgmentally. So Home very clearly has strong feelings about Barnaby attacking another home member or just being like his bad jokes or something. That is interesting though, because it shows like what Home, the entity, this thing we keep saying is like controlling everything, does or doesn't like.
Jews were supposed to come in today, which they didn't. And if you think about it, I'm the poor guy that deserves an apology here. I ran after that mailman all through the neighborhood and with nothing to show for it.
A bit like laughter.
Yeah, real funny. A poor little guy like me deserves some sympathy. A clown without a kazoo is like an artist without his paintbrush. Go on, kid, tell him. Hello? Buddy? Pal? Hey, you stopped painting. Everything all right?
So that was so interesting. So again, when he says Wally at the end, it ended, but it wasn't as immediate of a cutoff that time, which makes you think. And someone noticed that he was offline. The relationship between Wally and Home is interesting because he was talking to Home, and Wally was like deactivated. But as soon as he turned to Wally, he still didn't respond. You heard some creaking, and then Wally activates here. So either they're swapping consciousnesses, and Wally's got like one mind, but it passes to Home at certain points, or they're both the same thing, like Home and Wally are one and the same, or Home is taking over. Interesting. It's also interesting that Home does not like some of Barnaby's behavior here. That's really fascinating. And that's also being told to us through this guy. Bugs.
I love that there's bugs.
In general?
Yeah.
Just in this world?
Like, I don't know if there's some kind of like symbolic significance to that, but I don't know. I just am delighted by bugs.
Well, I think, here's the thing. Bugs are, let's see if I, here's a help. Right, hashtag really, here's bug. So there's 14. Here's the thing, right? So if Wally's communicating to us because he's an artist through the drawings, that then means Frank is the bug guy. And like he's got the butterfly here, he's got butterflies here, even his tie's like a butterfly. And Frank is often depicted with a book or butterfly net, since butterflies were seemingly his focus. He was also a source of information to other neighbors. Wait, here. Frank also doesn't have any known information about him, which is weird. There's a lot of weirdness with Frank. They don't know how he got there. He's associated with these bugs that are appearing everywhere. Frank was often depicted with a book or butterfly net, since butterflies were seemingly his focus. It's also a source of information for all the other neighbors when it comes to questioning old scripts. He was also a source of information for the other neighbors when an answer to a question was needed, as noted in old scripts. Okay, so he's like he's the smart one, but often be discredited for comedic effect. So he was basically the Bert of this Sesame Street, and then people would make fun of him because he was like a big nerd or whatever. Frank would be partnered with Julie as the straight man in various skits, merchandise, and advertising, and in the song "The Fun in Your Frown." In the show itself, the puppet appeared with a fixed frown on its face, but in illustrated material, he often had more complex expressions. Any concept work surrounding Frank's puppet could not... Any concept work surrounding Frank's puppet could not be uncovered. But there's evidence that has revealed that his head could be fully rotated. Yeah, we saw that in some of the gallery images last time.
That's really intriguing, right? Because all of our tabs at the top say answer.
Yeah.
And it's like, in one hand, it's, hey, Wally. Like, they're asking Wally to answer at the end of each of these dialogues. But in the URL, it's also telling us part of a code,
Yep.
which is in and of itself part of an answer.
Right.
So there's kind of like a dual meaning happening here
Right.
if Frank is talking to us.
Yeah, he's also the source of information for other. When an answer to a question was needed, he's the guy with the answers.
Yeah.
So he has a mysterious past. He's the guy with the answers. He's the guy with the bugs. He's got all
the bugs.
got all those bugs.
I trust him.
Yeah, I trust this man with the bugs. And also, so that then means that his why would it matter that his head spins or his head's full? Like, that's a weird detail. So the true nature of what these puppets are in this world are unclear, because this was a show. This was a like edutainment show of this like old era where like Sesame Street, right, back in the day or whatever. And so, or Fraggle Rock. And so I think about the puppets as like they're actual puppets. Maybe Frank's not a puppet.
I was about to say.
Maybe.
Because they're usually all like attached the way that you would normally see them.
Right, like, oh, I'm Kermit the Frog here. That's my Kermit impression. It's great. I know. Kermit the Frog here. But if his head can fully rotate, maybe there's a world where he's something under the head. Like it's a costume. Springlock suit. Maybe Frank is a springlock suit. Could be. I mean, that would be a very thin body. Like.
Oh, yeah. The skinniest endo ever.
Yeah. Skinniest endo ever.
But.
Right, but is he like undercover in some way? He shows up unexpectedly. Everyone's like, I don't know who the heck you are, but we're just going to accept you into the neighborhood.
It could just be some guy in a puppet costume.
Yeah, it's just a guy in a puppet costume.
And
he's busting the cult of the actual puppets.
Yes.
He's like, I'm going to take you down. Hey, puppet cult, I'm going to take you down.
Maybe one of those like lost media archivists went down the wrong path.
Right, just went off the rails. Interesting. Huh. Oh, hey, wait, there's a bug. Every time.
Pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and just a scoop of peanut butter. Gelatin works too, of course, but
Here, I'm not gonna listen to the whole thing because I know we're out of time.
A little something extra, but that's just between us.
Of course, I'm no gossip.
Wait, gelatin. Poppy talking about gelatin. So Frank, hold up. So is this a low-key burn on Frank?
Oh no.
Of course, I'm no gossip. I suppose gelatin can always be relied upon. A lot of gelatin. Still, I think it holds So she's burning him when they're talking about low-key talking about using gelatin. It's a low-key Frank. So Frank and everyone else, there's friction. There's trouble in the town of Denmark, my friends, and it is Frank. That's it. They're voting him off the island because he's using too much gelatin.
Look, he's thinking so hard about answers and bugs that sometimes too much gelatin gets into the mix.
I mean, you got to be careful. If you're not maintaining the right level of gelatin that you're putting in your recipe, it starts to get like really, really rubbery. You don't want that.
Yeah.
I've watched enough Great British Baking Show to know that if you add in too many sheets of gelatin, you are going to get something that is not worth the calories.
Why gelatin, though?
Right? That's weird. It's a very strange detail. And I don't know if it's just a reference to popular desserts at the time. Because again, if this is a show from, say, early 70s or whatever, like the gelatin desserts were really big back in... We did an episode about this on Food Theory, so I forget when... It was also in an episode that you wouldn't expect it to have been in. I forget which one it was. But we did an episode looking back at the history of gelatin-based desserts. And... at a certain point, they just realized, like, oh, you know, we can mass produce gelatin. And it became like the like nouveau riche, or kind of like it became the go-to dessert of the middle class, because it was historically an expensive thing, because you had to like boil down like bones in order to make the gelatin stuff. But then Jell-O or whoever figured out like, oh, we could mass produce this, and then it became available for everyone. And so all like middle class families, and was it 50s? Maybe it was 50s, so maybe earlier than this, were making Jell-O molds because they're like, oh, this is the highfalutin fancy dessert that I'm gonna impress all my friends with, even though everyone thought it was secretly disgusting and gross. But it was like, oh, I can impress it, and it looks good, and I'm gonna use a Jell-O mold. It is weird. It is a weird detail.
Like, is it?
Why?
I mean, it could be reflective of the time, but there's also, like you mentioned, the process of making gelatin, where you boil down like bones and get kind of like those proteins that help connect like muscles and like collagen, maybe?
Yeah, collagen.
So that could be like a more sinister detail.
It could be.
To look into.
That's really interesting. Huh. This is 9. So basically what we gotta do is we gotta put together this code.
Okay.
At some point.
Yep.
We gotta figure out what the Morse code is. And then we gotta solve the whole thing. That's me live talking to Tom and I to give us notes for later. It's like, note to self, do these things.
I think he's watching this episode on 3 times speed right now,
Yeah.
and just like got to the part where we name dropped him, and he's like, "Oh no!" But like in British.
Oh no! Brackets in British. There it is. Hey, gelatin molds might not taste good, but you know what does taste good? Air Up. It's amazing. This whole time, I feel so hydrated. Look, I got through almost the entire bottle in like literally less than an hour.
You're glowing. You look so hydrated.
I know. This is my glow up. Now that I'm done with the Streamy Awards, my focus is on my own personal health.
Good.
I say as I sit next to the big pile of fast food that I ate for lunch. Don't judge me for that. Judge me for my liquid intake. Have you tried the peach tea?
I haven't yet.
It's good. It's very good. So anyway, thank you again, Air Up, for sponsoring today's episode. And thank you again for joining me as we slowly make our way around this website and try to piece together the codes and clues. I highly, highly, highly encourage you, go check out the actual website, clownillustration.com, or if you just type in Welcome Home website, you'll find the link to it. There is so much in here. There is so much. And there was a lot already in it, but now that we're coming back into this update after it's been offline for a couple months, there's so much in here. I feel like between this last theory, this new one that we're kind of like crafting here live, and then I'm sure there's even more hidden in here. There's a lot packed in here, and that's without us even getting into the like there's one of those missing letters or whatever that led to the bug page or whatever. But it's one of those things where there's so much crammed in here. There's so much work. It's such an incredible world. The story is really awesome. So go seek it out. Go over to the Game Theorist subreddit if you find anything interesting. Send it our way, because this is one that I am very active in the middle of looking into, and I have no doubt it's just going to continue to expand and grow and evolve as this goes on. The amount of work that has gone into this, the voice acting solid. There's so much material in here. It is just tremendous. So if we're going to crack this, we got to work together. So I expect to see you over on the Game Theorist subreddit. Thank you for checking it out. Thank you to Air Up for sponsoring my hydration. And thank you to Ash for helping to move us into our new space.
Thumbs up.
Got it. And shout out to Rachel, too, who also did a lot of work.
Thanks, Rachel.
Woo, Rachel!
Woo!
She can't hear us. She's in the basement. Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Remember, that wasn't a live stream, but it was a video for you. See ya!